Good morning. Hope you're having a great beginning to your day. Yes, believe it or not, it's only a few days to Rosh Hashanah, to the new year. And of course, everyone is planning their dinners, where they're going to be, who's going to be eating with them, what they will serve, what kind of brisket, will it be smoked, will it be marinated, what kind of fruits they'll have, New Year fruits, and how they will spend the holiday, where they will go for services, etc., etc. But what are we going to ask for from the Almighty? What are we going to want? What's our desire? What's our yearnings? What's our imagination of what the new year should be? Are we going to ask for an end to the COVID? Are we going to ask for there not to be a recession, for a job for our children, spouses, for our wives, etc., etc.? I want to tell you something interesting. You know, there is a beautiful prayer that we say every day from the first day of Elul, which is the month preceding Rosh Hashanah, which we're almost finished, till the end of Sukkot. And it's chapter 27 in Psalms, and it's King David praying, and King David prays the most powerful words. If you ever read Psalms, you'll know it. But one of the verses says like this: Achas sha'alti me'es Hashem. There is one thing I ask from God. Shifti beveis Hashem kol yemei chayai. May I dwell in the house, in the presence of God, all the days of my life. Shafti beveis Hashem. Lachzis b'noyam Hashem alavaka v'hecholei. To be able to see, to be able to be in the presence of God and His royalty. It's a beautiful prayer. It's so moving. And if those of you that say it know it, because we say it every day for 40 plus days. Excuse me, almost 60 days. And the Midrash tells us something very interesting. That what was King David asking for? Says Rabbi Abba, Malchus Shal. He was asking for kingship, for royalty. And this puzzles the rabbis. What's going on here? Seriously? King David is asking for royalty? Is all he craving to be like King Charles or Queen Elizabeth, to be able to don the throne and have the crown and be dressed like a king and have people follow his orders and listen to him? What's going on here? What was King David asking for? What's the message Rabbi Abba is trying to tell us? And the message is a very powerful one. Rabbi Abba is telling us, think about King David. King David had such a challenging life. So many people wanted to kill him. He was running away from Saul. He was running away from his enemies. He almost got killed by Goliath. In fact, the rabbis tell us that at some point, King David had to feign that he was mentally ill, because, or else the Philistines caught him and they would have killed him. And here you have King David, who's running from cave, from mountain, running away from all these people who want to kill him. His own son wanted to kill him. And you would think, what would he ask from God? Would he ask, oh, I just want to have a night in my bed without having to run from place to place. I just want peace, tranquility. Says Rabbi Abba that King David didn't ask like a poor man. He asked like a king. He shot for the stars. He didn't dream small. He didn't say, just give me some food on my table. He asked for the things that he really wanted. He thought like a king. It's a very important message as we begin and we prepare for Rosh Hashanah. You know, they say this joke, but it's a powerful little anecdote of this guy who was a poor man who went around from building to building in the shtetl collecting money. And he would climb the steps and he would knock on each floor and he would ask people for money. And one time he always bought the lottery ticket, and one of his friends asked him, tell me, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And he looked at them and said, if I won the lottery, you know what I would do with the money? I would build elevators in all these buildings. So when I climb up to get money from them, I don't have to climb up so many stairs. He couldn't see past it. He asked like a poor man. In his mind, in his idea, all he wanted was to have an easier time climbing up to collect money. That's not what King David did. And that's not what's expected from us. That's not how we should approach Rosh Hashanah. We should ask like kings. We should ask for the big things. For spirituality, for holiness, for health, for our families, for true happiness and fulfillment. You know, when you say, Rabbi, how do you do it? Come to show, sometimes you don't have the right words. I'll tell you a powerful story, and I'll finish with this. It's a story that the Baal Shem Tov always used as a parable. One day there was this kid who grew up, he was a peasant, he grew up in a little shtetl, and he was illiterate. He never learned how to read or how to write. All he did was take care of chickens in the coop. And one day, he realized it was Rosh Hashanah, and he really wanted to pray, he wanted to go to God, but he didn't know what to do, so he came into the shul. There were hundreds of people lined up praying with the prayer books. He opened up the prayer book, he held it the wrong way, he didn't even know how to hold it, definitely not how to read, and definitely not what to say. Well, guess what? The guy hears everyone singing and screaming, but he doesn't know the words. So he starts saying what he only knows, and he screams, "Kukuriku, kukuriku, kukuriku," which is how the chicken would make its sounds. And he thought that's what he could say. That was the only expression he knew. Well, what does the gabbai do? The gabbai looks. What's this guy sitting in shul singing kukuriku? Is he making a joke out of Rosh Hashanah and Kippur? So he goes to send the guy out, and the Baal Shem Tov holds him back and says, "Don't touch him. Leave him alone. That man's prayers have reached the greatest heights and pierced the heavens and reached all the way to the throne of the Almighty." And they said, "What do you mean? Why? He didn't say anything. He just said kukuriku. There were no words. There was no meaning to it." And the Baal Shem Tov looked at the gabbai, people surrounding him, and said, "Of course there was. Because he was saying kukuriku. It came from the depth of his heart. And because it came from the depth of his heart, it pierced the heavens." So my friends, ask for kingship, ask as a king, but speak from the depth of your heart. Speak from deep within you, and may God bless each and every one of you and us with a sweet and a happy and a healthy and a good new year. Shana Tova. See you again tomorrow.